All right, Stephen Key here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that first dance, that first date. You've sent all your material to a potential licensee and they've shown some interest and you're excited about it and they want to talk to you. I talked about the 5 questions they're going to ask so you are prepared. I want to talk about some things you should not do in that first Zoom call, Skype call, or telephone call that you should not do. And I think a lot of inventors do this. They're trying to rush the process a little bit. And if you try to rush it too fast, if you go out of sequence, things fall apart very, very quickly. I talked about having a great attitude. That's one thing you should always have. Don't be an obstacle. Be reasonable, be knowledgeable, be part of their team. That's big, big picture. But some of the things you could do at the very beginning is a red flag for that company to run and run fast. And I saw this the other day when I was speaking to someone. Right away, they were going to have a call with the company and they wanted to talk about the royalty rate. They wanted to talk about the royalty rate in the first meeting. No, it's too early for that. You're going out of sequence. That royalty rate, although you want a good royalty rate, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to determine that. And you're going to see that in the licensing agreement, such as minimum guarantees, performance clauses, intellectual property. All these things will determine what that royalty rate is. So don't get in a hurry to try to negotiate the highest royalty rate in the first meeting. That first meeting, you're barely dating. You're just getting to know each other. So don't rush it. Sometimes people will ask them, and they want to ask, well, how many units do you sell, or how many stores are you in? And you want to know more about their business. Don't do that. They're not going to tell you all those great things. What they're going to say, they're probably going to be a little bit, let's say, hesitant to give you too much information. They might brag about some of the retail stores that they're in, but don't go too personal and ask them about their business. Go online, do your own homework. You can find it out. Everything's on the internet. But don't ask them too many personal questions at the very beginning. I would do this. I would just ask them, what type of retailers are you in? That's going to tell you how big their business is. That's one mistake I see a lot of. You're curious. You want to know, but do some homework online before you ask that question. The third thing I always hear is that people want to talk about all the different ways you can work together. And who's going to pay for what? Who's going to pay for patents? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Oh, gee, it's too early to talk about those things. You want to take it a little slow. Things will unfold fairly within a certain period of time. You have to realize you're not going to get all the answers to some of your questions at the very beginning. You're getting to know each other. It's a kind of a relationship. You want to listen. What's important to them? You want to listen and ask them, is intellectual property important? Ask them how important is the costing. Ask them all these type of questions that you're really understanding their business a little bit. But don't go too fast. This is going to take a little bit of time. And just listen. Yeah, there it is. Just listen. What's important to you? And what do you need to make a decision? And what can I do to help you be part of their team? So if you start to do some of these things out of sequence, I said at the very beginning, if you go out of sequence and start asking for things that are not the right timing, they're going to run out the door. They're not going to bring you into their company. They're not going to feel comfortable. Realize that first person you're talking to could possibly be your champion. And that champion needs to sell you and your product to higher management. And if they feel like you're a wild card, or you don't understand the process, or if you're going to say things that are not appropriate, they're not going to bring you in. They're going to run. They're going to go the other way. It doesn't matter how great your idea is. You don't want to embarrass that potential champion so they don't bring you in to their company, introduce you to their boss and everybody else. It's all about relationships. Whew, there it is. So don't make those simple mistakes at the very beginning. I see a lot of people doing that. Stephen Key, once again, thank you for watching.